David Goggins' perspective on failure is truly a breath of fresh air in a world saturated with cliched phrases and empty motivational slogans. He fearlessly challenges the status quo, expressing his frustration with the superficiality of those who preach about failure without truly experiencing it themselves. Goggins' honesty and his candor resonate deeply with audiences who are tired of getting the same old recycled garbage.
I developed a psychotic weight routine. So most people who want to lose weight, they go into this serious cardiovascular, just dropping calories.
Yeah.
So yeah, that helps you lose weight. But what happens is, man, you have this loose skin all over your body.
Yeah.
So I invented this routine. It was called like anywhere from the 100 to 500 routine. So I pick a light weight and I go in there and I smoke out that, like, so let's say it's bench press. Let's say I can do the bar 100 times without stopping. You want to pick something that you can do over 100 times without stopping. And if you do stop, you stop in the rest. So your rest position is the up position. You don't rest it, like rack it. You don't rack it. You rest up. And by you resting up, your muscles are still working.
By sharing his personal experiences of failure, Goggins sets himself apart as a living example of someone who faces failure head-on and embraces it. He dismantles the fear surrounding failure, asserting that it should be actively sought after, in fact. Goggins believes that by challenging ourselves and setting audacious goals, we inevitably encounter failure along the way.
The hardest obstacle was myself. I started realizing more and more and more that all these people were gone. What was haunting me was me. I can't control my dad. I can't control the people calling me nigger. I can't control all these things, but they were things that kept me down. It started becoming my reality. My reality was what they made it out to be. And I became the most important conversation you'll ever have with your life, in your life, is when you have yourself. And my conversation was absolutely horrifying.
What were you saying to yourself?
I'm dumb. I'm nobody. My dad was great in mental warfare. A drunk, insecure man will make everybody around him feel like hell.
Yeah.
Because he wants to give you no power. And that's why he was so mean to my mom and myself and my brother, because he didn't want anybody to get above him. He wanted to keep you down low. So when you're growing up with all of this stuff, all this hate, and it wasn't the beatings. I could take the beatings all day. It was the mental torture. So when, at a young age, your parents put a dialogue in you of confidence or you're nobody. So that voice in my head was, I'm a loser. And then it was confirmed when I got in school, and in third grade, I was falling behind. They want to put me in a special school.
Yeah.
With kids who can't learn.
Right.
Then it was confirmed what my dad was saying. So that confirmed it. Then I started cheating. So I started realizing, I'm taking the easy way out again.
Yeah.
And it started snowballing from there. Now the kids are calling me nigger. But it wasn't all the kids. So what happens is you start to get this picture that everybody hates you. Because your reality becomes so big that you can't see the clear picture.
It might have been 3 or 4
That's
kids
it.
doing it over and over.
Right, but it was the whole town.
Yeah.
Everybody hated me. So
The world hates me.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's when it became toxic. And that is where I became my worst enemy.
In his eyes, failure is not a roadblock, it is just a stepping stone towards success. One of the most intriguing aspects of David Goggins' perspective on failure is his analogy between the emotional impact of witnessing a character in a movie succeed after multiple failures and the feeling of personal success. Goggins suggests that the sense of satisfaction and fulfillment that arises from overcoming failure is unparalleled.
People have a hard thing to understand. I hate to run. And what makes me so crazy, it doesn't anymore, is people go, well, why do you run if you hate it? What are you talking about? I don't want to take showers and eat either. I hate that too. That's life, man. It wasn't until I changed that mentality that I became somebody. But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. That's what people don't understand. By me running, I am callous in my mind. I'm not training for a race. I'm training for life. Or something happens tragic in life, I don't fall apart. I'm training my mind and my body and my spirit so it's all one, so I can handle what life is going to throw at me. Because the life I've lived, it throws a whole bunch at you. And if you're not physically and mentally prepared for that, you're just going to crumble.
He believes that by experiencing failure firsthand, individuals can truly appreciate the taste of success. Goggins encourages individuals to fully embrace failure, as it brings them closer to that euphoric feeling of accomplishment, you know?
I mean, I've been up, I got a couple of hill weeks under my belt, man. I know how to stay up for 130 hours and move.
Yeah.
And I know how to self-motivate. A lot of motherfuckers don't know how to self-motivate, man. Like, we like to put the headphones on, like before the big game and listen to the music.
Yeah.
What the fuck did you do when the headphones come off, bro? It's you in your own mind.
Right.
I know how to do that. That's the hard part, man.
Do you ever listen to music when you run?
Never.
Mm-hmm. Never. Told you, Jamie, it's cheating.
He has that video I got. I thought you might have seen it.
But
he talks about like running with music. And
no, what did you say? Find it. Find the video. We'll play it. We might not be able to play it. Is it somebody else's content?
No, it's his content.
I actually, but I did during my last pull-up record. I listened to, that song from Rocky 1, round 14, when Rocky gets knocked down the corner. I listened to that. It's 2 minutes and 13 seconds long. I listened to it on repeat for 17 hours. Merry Christmas, motherfucker. I picked these hard things that most people think you can't finish anyway. So, you go out there, you grind, you're alone, you're in your own head. I work best alone.
Right.
I work best alone. So those are easier. I figured out a way to kind of challenge your mind, channel it and challenge it at the same time. And I figured out a way to kind of just have an indestructible toolbox in your mind. So those are easier.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I have a gift. I have a gift. It's not a gift of gab. It's just a gift of saying, look, man, I'm vulnerable. I'm very, very human. I'm not God's gift. I'm not Superman. I'm not Batman. I'm not even Robin. But I did figure out some things along my journey. So if I kept myself introverted and closed in, no one would ever, realize, man, that big, hard, tough guy over there, man, he's just some superhuman, and they put a title on me. This way, I have to break myself down, let people know that anyone can be who they want to be. The sickness I had was my psoas muscle got real tight. And it caused my body, long story short, to pretty much choke me out from the inside. So when you're young, your psoas muscle is your fight or flight muscle. We're sitting down right now, we're using the hip flexor muscle. When you're under stress, as I was my whole life, by being afraid of my father, it's tight.
Clenched,
your whole body's tight. Then I choose a job like being a Navy SEAL. It's even tighter. Right. And then I put myself under stress. It's just tightening, tightening, tightening. It's a vice grip. And you need healthy blood flow through your body. I wasn't getting any of that. So I pushed so hard. In life, people say, oh, because you ran so much. No. Sorry. Life.
Emotional stress.
Yes. Emotional stress made me just tight. So now, I couldn't sit down here for 10 seconds. And I'd be like, I was wound. What that's done to me is allowed me to be even more open-minded. I stretch out. I get my body lengthened out. It lengthens my mind out. The possibilities out. I calm myself down. So during the morning time, I build the armor. I face the world. Because now I know there's going to be some disappointments along the way every day.
Yeah.
So that's life. But if you face disappointments already in victory, the things I can control is I can control my run. I can control how my house looks, how my world is. I can control that. So I've won. I open my door of life. Life starts to beat me down. I'm facing it with the body armor that I created.
Yes.
And now I'm facing life with the proper tools. Unlike I hit the snooze button, I'm running late, my house is a mess, my mind's a mess. Now life's already beat you. So you open the door and now life hits you and you're already frustrated. You're already in that anxiety mode. You're stressed already. And then life starts to pile more on top of you. You get home, you're exhausted. And that's how life happens to everyone. And I could give this 6-minute long speech. And I'm up there, man, I'm talking, And I'm thanking people who helped me out. And I get to my mom, she's sitting back, she's sitting right here on stage, but behind me. And I haven't cried in 30 years.
I can't even picture it.
Haven't cried in 30 years, I just don't do that. And I turn around and say, and I want to thank my mom for not picking me up when I was knocked down, but teaching me how to get up. Because she never picked me up ever. And because her circumstances sucked.
Yeah.
So anyway, I look back and I said that, and when I got done, I didn't even get a chance to say it. I looked at her eyes, and my head went right back to her face when she saw me bruised up. And that fucked me up. And for 58 seconds, look at the video, and you'll see me, my head's down, and I'm sobbing.
Wow.
And I'm in front of 5,000 vets, and the guy who was hosting the thing had to come up to me and like put his hand on my back. And I was just destroyed, overcome with emotion. And then 58 seconds go by, and I get up and I deliver this speech. And so I tell you that because my life tattooed me. And so when I came from Buffalo, I was 8 years old. I didn't have one learning disability, I had several. But I hid all this shit. I never talked about my dad being crazy, or I couldn't read, I couldn't write. I got held back in my second grade. So now we moved. My mom now finds the courage to move to this small town called Brazil, Indiana.
Was that beating the catalyst that made you leave?
That was the catalyst.
And that's probably why you flash back to that second.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
So basically that next morning, so this is what happened. That beating happened, and maybe 2 days later, my mom's in the living room while my dad's in the kitchen talking to one of his girls. My mom walks in the kitchen with me and my brother sitting in our, standard locations at the table. My dad at the head of the table, me and my brother at the side of the table, and there's a phone behind my dad. He always talked on the phone, smoking a cigarette, drinking his scotch. And he's talking to one of his girls on the phone. And my mom walks in, and this is where she was at mentally. She walked in, looked at me and my brother, and she said, "You guys can come, or you guys can stay, but I'm getting the fuck out of here."
Oh, God.
And so she was broke. I've had this mentality for years. It got me through a lot of hard times. You cannot use it every day of your life.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
You cannot use it. I used it as like, my God, this is the perfect, I found it. This is the trick. You don't even matter. You're just a machine. You are a machine, like just like a lever. That's all you are, man. You're not. And in my book, I talk about what that lever starts to get rusty, starts to get crusty. It starts to I can't even think about anybody but myself. So through the process, what I started to learn was that helps a lot. And you can tap into that all the time. But you have to be able to heal yourself. You have to be able to recover yourself. It can't be something that you continue to do and do and do. There has to be a recovery process for your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. Encompasses your whole body. So those are tactics, but those tactics must be oiled up. That lever has to be oiled again to go back in it. Give me 5 years of doing my meditation, my stretching, my eating right, my sleeping right. And you have to be on a constant reminder. Almost like how you put a reminder on your phone, 15 minutes, you got this. That has to be in your brain. You've done too much. Stop. And what happens in life is that we start to see our lives become so successful. We're making money. We're doing this. We're doing that. I want more. I push harder. I'm all about pushing hard. Don't get me wrong.
Obviously.
I'm all about it. But to push as hard as you can, you have to be mindful of the machine that's pushing. It is going to end up dying. And then it takes years to get it back. So you lose that time.
Totally.
That time is gone. I lost 5 years of I could be crushing it. Where now I'm just now back to crushing it, realizing, God, man, I learned the hard way. That's really sometimes one way to learn.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes one way to learn. That's how I've learned the best.
Yeah.